In this morning's Eye on Earth, a stunning new report shows many major coastal cities around the world could be underwater by 2050 in our lifetime. Scientists from Climate Central say that means 300 million people would be waterlogged in just 30 years. Take a look at these images. Here are the original predictions for 2050, and then these are the Climate Central's new projections. Take a look at the dramatic impact in places like Bangkok, Thailand, Alexandria, Egypt, and closer to home, coastal Louisiana. It shows each area almost completely underwater. Bernadette Woods Placky is chief meteorologist at Climate Central, and she joins us now. Bernadette, good morning.
Good morning.
The original projections were already frightening. Now we have these new projections, even more concerning. First question, why the change?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here to talk about this very important subject.
Yes.
And this is a nice piece of the puzzle in understanding more about how climate change is really affecting the people, places, and things that we love. What we did with this study is we looked at land beneath our feet. Sea level rise projections in the past were based on this wonderful global data set from NASA, but what it did was read our land as a satellite went around the Earth, and what that land was reading was trees, buildings, and land that was way above where we actually walk.
Yeah,
so when we were able
wow.
to correct this elevation data set, it brought land closer to where we live. So when you have that same amount of water and land went from here to here, it's a lot more at risk.
What are the most vulnerable areas here in the U.S.?
In the United States, actually, our data set has not changed that much because we have a really robust, wonderful scientific system, and we use what's called LIDAR data. So it's a little more refined. So we already know major areas at risk, as we showed Louisiana, Florida, all of the entire southeast coast. And even we saw just this past month with king tides, water coming up with no storm system from Virginia, New Jersey, all the way up into Boston.
But the reason this matters to Americans, even if the flooding is happening somewhere else, is because if people are displaced, that creates conflicts, that creates wars for resources. U.S. military involvement could follow. Instability is bad for global security and for security here at home. I noticed that Asia seems to be particularly hard hit. Why?
Well, one of the reasons it is so highly populated, and there's a lot of low-level ground. And with population levels so high and not much protection there, you already are seeing those are some of the places already at risk, but then when you correct this data set, it just raises those numbers off the charts.
So now that you've scared the bejesus out of us, can you explain simply why is it happening and what we can do?
So my goal is not to scare you, it's to inform you,
you're doing a good
inform
job.
everybody that this is what we're looking at if we don't make changes. But we do still have the opportunity to make changes. I kind of compare it to a diet. You know, even if you choose to eat healthy, it's going to take a while to see those impacts on your body.
Yes.
Our greenhouse gases stay in the atmosphere for hundreds to thousands of years, and that's why there's an urgency to change to cleaner sources of energy, electrify our transport, make for refined ways of working our buildings, our heating systems, our lighting systems, and focus on our farming and our agriculture where we have some opportunities with our soils.
I can't personally redefine our electricity system, but I think what you're saying is people can vote for people who do.
No,
That is one of the ways.
I thought it was funny when I said, doesn't it drive you crazy when people still don't understand climate change? You go, yeah, like my dad.
That's right. That's right.
You're dealing with it even in your own house.
All right, Bernadette Woods Placky, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
We appreciate it.